Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode, episode number 29. We're entering the Sabeel Cycling Tour, 2.1 category, 5-stager. We open with a quick prologue, and you can see there's a wealth of World Tour riders at this race, so it's going to be difficult to get much of a result. And also, as this is not an objective intermediate thing, we're going to try to speed through this race. The last rider, Sepkus, sets off here on the prologue. Short one, just 7K. McNulty turned in a great time, actually going out first. Currently stands in 9th place. There's still a handful of riders to go after this. Koos could have a decent-ish time, but I would expect him to be somewhere around 40th place overall. With a prologue of 66 rating, that's not going to do terribly well. See, there's a little uphill, and then you've got this sharp descent, but then there's a little bit more to the finish. You can tack a little bit harder there. 55th. 33 seconds down. That's my last rider. We'll get to the finish here. Thomas DeGant, second best. Moreno, third best. And Filippo Ganna on top. Lawrence De Plus goes third fastest. Castro Viejo. And then Campenart's last guy to set off. Takes best time. 8 minutes, 33 seconds. 6 seconds into the lead. Ganna slips to third. That also bumps McNulty off the podium, or out of the top 10, but he'll still have a top 15. 18 kilometers to go here on stage number 2, and we're seeing just how difficult this race is going to be, as we have a very quality field. Last breakaway rider was just reeled in. We have 65 riders left in the peloton. We're about to go over a little false peak here, and then we enter the final climb of the day. It's short, it's only 4.5K long, but it's really steep. And if the rest of the race has been any indication over what we've been through so far, this group, this peloton, is going to get a lot smaller. And I have 3 riders together to get through this, and these are my strongest climbers. And what I want to do now, I don't want to attack with it, but I want to sprint train this. And McNulty behind Koos, Koos behind Mader, and we're going to put Mader through this. Oh, Mader, why are you going backwards, dude? Come on. Not 99, but bring us to the front of the group, please, as we go through that final sprint point of the day. I had no intention of attacking. I still have no intention of attacking. I just have intention of not getting dropped. And Mader wasting that one a little bit. 3.5K to the top. Roughly, really worried about him, actually. Okay, an 82 is apparently enough on this one. Back off a little more. An 80. If this is all the pace that's necessary, then Koos and McNulty will easily get to the finish. 79 for Mader here. He is fading, but Koos will do just fine in his stead here in a moment. A little more. And nobody's coming up on me just yet, so we'll wait a moment. Wait. Okay, 900 meters. I want to push this a little bit. $32 are all that's left. Koos McNulty about to go over the top first. And without any damage. 6.8K and downhill. Let's do that. Mader, set you to auto. We're going to keep this little lead out here by Koos. Hold on. Sprint They are almost identical. They are technically identical base-wise. McNulty has the better resistance, a little better shape right now, so we'll keep Koos at the front. But it is time to back off a little bit. 28 riders to contest this stage number 2. This is going to alter those standings quite a bit too, those prologues. Mater's back to the front. 2K to go. Koos needs to accelerate a little bit more. Let's go 89. 1.2. Whoa, wow. Koos sprint. 700 meters. McNulty. Koos. Podium? Maybe? I don't think so. I think he's going to be more like 4th or 5th. Simon Clark. Bjork Lambrecht. The late Bjork Lambrecht. Robert Power. Finito de Plus. Okay, 6th. Thought I was 4th, but I guess he was further down than I thought. 6th and 8th. Still a good result for us on that stage. No time losses. Mater appears to have a little time loss. Final 35K in stage number 3. It's a mountain stage, and it's one mountain. One very large mountain. I think we're looking at 15 plus kilometers on this final mountain. Last sprint point we're about to go through. The breakaway has already been caught. First rider's already fallen off the back. There's plenty of pace. It's going to get hectic and quickly. So my goal is to try to keep the team near the front as much as possible. Burn through the support riders in the lower slopes. And then just let the team thin out more and more as we go along. Ernst de Plus. Still under 25, really? I thought he was quite a bit older than that. I guess he just got a young start. Okay, this is not quite the climb yet, but we're at 18K, and we head uphill. First the hill, and then comes the mountain. But we are done with the flat. We are done with, well, we never really descended at all. But here comes the beginning of the slopes. And here we go. Alright, getting a little bit on the blinking red side, so let's give it a little more love. I want to try to keep all the teams near the front, and already I've got guys that are shifting backwards, and I don't care for that. McNulty, come on.
There are just 15 kilometers left.
Banaszek fighting to get back forward and burning all of his energy to do so. Yay! Cassart already fading. Banaszek fading. Only one rider off the back so far. The climb itself has not taken any victims just yet. Cassart, Banaszek losing ground. Not gone yet. Not really done yet either. Just set you to a 99 in place here for now. I need to recycle you guys out of the mix. Iking as well. And there you go. We're down to Mater, McNulty, and Koos. It is McNulty we're ready for, so Mater. Provide some protection for McNulty, please. And we'll keep an eye on the back. Field starting to thin out. 113 riders left. And we are still ultimately on the lower slopes. Things are going to level off here in a little bit. And we'll hit the intermediate section, the top sections. You can see climb's kind of split into 3 sections. Cassart, first one done. Just off the back of the field right now. 106 riders left in it. Okay, entering the second phase. Banaszek making up a little ground, but it's not going to last. In fact, it's time to just... time to go auto. Because he's done. .95 in that number. We're about to lose 10 more. Here comes the split. There it is, 9 off, 86. And there's another 3-4 riders up there that are about to get dropped themselves. There's Iking, also done. Let's go check in. Now on to our 3 guys. Mater has done his job. He is fading already. Dang, this climb is brutal. It's still 7K. Coos to protect McNulty as long as he can. Mater, use your gel. McNulty, go ahead and use your gel. I know you guys are not going to last terribly long. Mater's already dropped. Big splits here. Big splits. Viking. Okay, you've already been changed over. Mater. We're down to 25 with 2 guys off the front. Knox and Bjork Lambrecht. Lambrecht is not really a mountains guy. He's more of a puncher. Surprised he's able to do what he's done so far. 5K to go. Koos is now fading. McNulty is just hanging on at the moment. We're going to see some splits here again. Another 3, 4, 5 riders coming off the back soon. But McNulty is almost done. And he is quite low on energy right now. So, not looking so good. We're finishing second phase here. Levels off a little bit. Bridge across this cliff area, and then we're going to start going uphill again. Koos recovers a bit, though he's still totally fatigued. It's helping McNulty out, though. Mater's group has recovered a little bit. So we saw a little split in here. Here's the next attack. I can't do that, so those guys are just gone. They are where they are. There are 4 riders off the front. Knox quite far ahead. He's 2 minutes clear of us. Hurt, Martinez, Lambrecht, and then everybody else. And we're down to 1K. We are down to 1K. We are almost to the top here. But I've got nothing to attack with, so try to save it a little bit here. And then we're going to go effort cursor up, final few hundred meters.
He found the resources to get this win.
There we go, McNulty, little acceleration. James Knox takes the win. Jan Hurt second. Daniel Martinez third. Bjork Lambrecht fourth. Brandon McNulty with a solid 5th place finish there. Koos just misses the top 10 in 12th. Mater's in a pretty decent position here as well, outside of the top 20, but inside the top 30. Just outside 30, 33rd. This time we'll go ahead and take a look at the standings and how that's looking. I would imagine Brandon McNulty is right about the position he should be. There's one of my old riders, my 2018 career mode series for Vecchi. Came across in 7th. He was my top climber. Or is my top climber in that series. That series is still ongoing, but only once a week now, so episodes have tapered off a bit from where we used to be, but 220 was the gap. You can see at Vervecchi's group, beginning in 7th, 237, all those guys crossing the line together. And yes, I was right. McNulty, 5th overall. Knox leading the race. Climber, 23-year-old. British rider, okay. Jan Hurt. Martinez. Lambrecht, yeah, I was surprised. He's definitely more of a puncher than a climber, but he's got good resistance. McNulty here because of form. Not as strong as those guys, not as much resistance as those guys, but then when you start looking at who's around us in our area, yeah, he finished right about where he should. You could argue that Gianluca Brambilla should have done better. Gianluca here, 74 mountain and resistance. And a decent punch as well, meaning he could have accelerated when he needed to. Maybe he's not quite in form. Here's another one. Castroviejo should have done a little bit better, but his mountain rating is only a 72. So, yeah, Koos worked for McNulty, but really only late on. He's got a good mountain rating, but what hurts him is his resistance. It's not even 70. So McNulty up to 5th, Koos up to 14th, Mater in 24th. Stage 4 is a really challenging one, and I've got a little problem on my hands. Cassart went to get water, and he's got the bidons, but he's running out of energy, and he's going to get himself dropped. There's already a handful of riders dropped. We're down to a peloton of 99. Huge breakaway group of 20, as sometimes happens in later stages of stage races on big climbing stages, and Cassart is in fact done. He is getting dropped here. So I'm going to have to send somebody else to get water, and Koos has been left a bit vulnerable. Iking and Banashek are both fading already on this climb, and the real fun begins with his alls category. Yeah, that is insane. This stage. This is one of the big boy stages without the big boys present. We might have some World Tour teams here, and we might have some quality riders, but definitely just about the highest profile rider here is, and no offense, but it's Bjorg Lambrecht. And Lambrecht was an almost unknown quantity before a handful of weeks ago when he unfortunately passed away in a crash, and then people went, oh yeah, he was up and coming, right? And that changed everything in a hurry. Now McNulty's my higher place rider. Today it's Sepp Koos, actually, who has the lovely race day condition. But Iking, Banashek, going out the rear. Banashek's done. Iking, fading quick, not the only one. In fact, Martinelli riding with number 71. That coach, so a couple kind of quick step riders. Iking's done 63 in the peloton, just like that, over the little category 1 climb. Big climb still coming, and coming very soon. And water, major issue, need it now.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
34 in the group. 62 now. I think that's where we were as we kind of went over the top, so it makes sense that some of those riders coming back on. The unfortunate part is I'm still going back to get water as the group is stretched out so thin. Also unfortunate here is that Sepp Koos trying to get himself water after Cassart never made it. McNulty also trying to get water. Right before the L's category climb, they all go backwards to the very back end of the group, and every single one of them grab water themselves, and you can see Mater and McNulty right on the edge here. And even though they are just about recovered, they've got to fight to get back forward here before the climb. And some energy is being burnt in that recovery ride. So, real unfortunate start to what's likely going to be a very difficult climb. 19 of the original breakaway members are still away. 16 in the large group that remains. We've got 3 that are going to be swallowed up here any moment, as soon as we start going uphill anyway. And by hill, I mean up a freaking mountain. A big one. 21 kilometer climb. Yikes. Okay, down to the 16th. They've got a 2.5 minute lead, but that's nothing on a climb like this. We're going to see that group fall apart pretty soon, and we're going to see our group fall apart. But we've already left behind a lot of the 9 non-climbers, So our 55 is probably going to shrink a little bit slower than their 16, I would imagine. So we have been the first to get a few riders off. 16.5K to go. That's 4K up the climb, and Koos, McNulty hanging in there, but Mater is fading pretty quick. I would imagine somewhere around the 10K to go point he's going to get dropped. 49 left in the group, 44 left in the group. That front group is collapsing now. Wow, actually really only 2 riders off the back so far. But you can see how stretched they are, so that'll thin out real quick. Mater, 11.5K to go, still there, but I figured it was about 10 where he was going to get dropped, and it looks more like it's going to be 10 where he runs out of energy as we hit 10 now, and Mater's got just a little bit left in the tank. Surprisingly, pace not that hot. Why? Well, probably the makeup of the group. Remember, it's not as strong of a group as could be seen in certain races, and it's a crazy hard climb. So Mater hangs on 2.5K past the point that I thought he would, even though he had essentially no energy. Let's use his gel now, as he's definitely going to be done soon. It looks like, at this rate anyway, Koos and McNulty will make it over this Alls category climb, still in the peloton, and it is thinning out still, but only just a little bit. 40 riders left, now 38. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that was the 2 riders that we caught from the break, just going straight out the back end. But as we ride with Mater, Mater is fading quick here, 3.3K to go. That's too far, so he will get dropped and probably not be able to get back on board unless he's got a decent sized group that he goes out with. Iking is 11 minutes down. Banijak going on 14, and Cassart is 23, and Mater is dropped to group of 8. So maybe set him to auto, and we move on. 27 left in the peloton. And now we've got Koos and McNulty. Koos looking a little bit better today. However, McNulty's in the better position overall. So I would like to protect McNulty. Especially if we can get over this Alls category climb, then we should be able to get over that final climb. The 2 of them, anyway. We are 4:45 down to the breakaway. The breakaway is going to win this stage. So we're fighting for overall positions in recovery mode here. Let's up this for this little false flat before we continue our descent and our recovery. Mater's group is 3 minutes down, so no, not getting back. We're down to 28 riders, 26 riders. So there were definitely a fair few that did not recover. But on this longer section of descent, we should get Koos and McNulty back to or close to back to full strength. Go a little faster as we continue the downhill climb. McNulty now recovered. Koos is also recovered. 16K to go, and here comes the rain. Okay, this climb's not as bad, but you can see the finish part is actually really steep. Nicholas Egg attacking here on the lower slopes. Ravni about to be brought in. I think he was with us there recently. Oof, low on water. Thirty riders, and we're starting to see a couple going out real early too, so surprising as that is. Alright, now, who is in front? It's Koos. Go ahead and use your gel so you don't get dropped. Now we're starting to reel in a lot of the breakaway riders. The lead is down to 252. That's what I'm saying. The breakaway is going to win. It's just that most of those riders are getting pulled back. We're down to 5 left off the front, and it's 1 solo rider who's a minute clear. We're seeing an attack here from Polank, Dyer Quintana. Joe Dombrowski. There's George Lambrecht. Bjorg Lambrecht. Not George. We are almost to the top of the first part of the climb. Koos is hanging on. McNulty's in good shape with 4.5K to go. And there's Lambrecht going. Don't want these guys to get away. There's the top. But then we go down just a little bit. Gel. Okay, 5 off the front, 5 giving chase. But we're only kind of just in there, as you can see. That's why there was nothing I could do. Here comes Koos. He's going to be dropped here in just a moment. And McNulty, it's 700 meters. Vervecki takes the win from the break. What the heck, McNulty? You were going backwards, absolutely backwards right now, as everybody comes flying by you through that traffic circle. Lawrence DePluce takes 7th. Egg took 3rd. So DePluce was the first. No, Polank was the first, and then DePluce hurt. Knox, we're going to lose a little bit positioning. McNulty comes 16th. Koos comes 20th. We'll still have a top 10. Confident of that, but I think we are going to lose a few spots. Excuse me. This is ×8 speed. Those guys are not moving very fast. Long day of climbing. Cassart, the last of my team to come in, comes in at 122nd within the time cut. We're at 50 minutes now. And there's the final riders. Cassart was just about to the back. Okay. The times. What is the verdict? How bad is it? McNulty loses 2:11. But that's to the break. We lose 50 seconds. And then just over half a minute. And then 10 seconds. So a little bit of time losses. Koos loses an additional 20 seconds. McNulty drops 1 position. He's still in 6th. Koos, I think that's where he was before. Maybe 11th before, but 12th. Knox stays in the leader's jersey. Jan Hurt, 2nd. Martinez, or Lambrecht, he drops a couple positions, or 1 position. Lawrence DePluce. So we're still definitely up there with 1 stage to go, and in a good position. It'll be a good result regardless, and that's against the World Tour guys, and definitely the most serious climbing that I can remember being in this season. Quick note while we've got this screen here, sponsor confidence is maxed out, and that was 100% due to the national championships. Last episode we finished with the US national championships and a win, and that was a huge boost. But then we also added 2 more top 10s in other national championships. Germany, Max Kanter, I think he took 9th. And then Banaszek, Poland, 2nd place to Mikhail Kwiatkowski. So Kwiatkowski won that, as he does pretty much every year. But Banaszek took 2nd to him, so solid result there. This race is ongoing. It's stage 2 of 4. I'm not participating in this one, so just a quick sim, and then we'll see the profile for stage 5, and we'll jump into that final stage of the event we are partaking in. William Barta wins the stage, and that's going to move him into the race leader's jersey. He was 2nd in stage number 1. Stage 5, sprint stage, so this will not change the standings. Let's go ahead and get to the final sprint, which actually none of them are sprinters, so I'll just see you at the end of the stage. No sprinters present, nothing to race for. So here's the final results. McNulty finishes 6th, Coos finishes 12th. Nowhere to be seen on the points competition. McNulty actually takes 2nd in the KOM, even though I didn't really participate in any way. But I always try to stay near the front, and I guess that adds up long term. McNulty takes 5th on the under 25s. So 6th in the race, but 5th under 25s. It really goes to show that the teams, the World Tour teams, were sending their best young riders, which makes sense. Bjork Lambrecht, prospect, young rider, strong, Lotto Soudal rider, right? That's what he was considered before his passing. So that all actually makes perfect sense. Team competition, we take 3rd. So this is the beautiful part. Sunweb, EF Education first. Okay, World Tour teams. Got it. But we just beat Team Ineos. Definitely not their strongest team. Okay. Still. Astana, Trek. And Trek was nowhere to be seen in this race. UAE, Lotto Soudal, all the way down here. Movie Star, Duquesne Quickstep, 20 minutes down overall. Jumbo Visma, yeah. That's right. Top teams, many, many minutes behind. Alright, well, we are pushing forward, and let's see, what's that next race is going to be the 16th, which means we're going to have dossiers coming up. Let's go ahead and do that dossier before we wrap this episode up. It'll be the last dossier before we push into contract signing time. Our domination continues, nearly 4,000 points in Continental. Back in 16th place again as we kind of go back and forth with Lotto Soudal and Dimension Data. Very tight between the three of us, but 2,530 points of super prestige as a Continental team on hard difficulty. I know that I've been getting better and better at this game, but dang. I do have a strong team for a Continental team. No doubt about that, but we are definitely not anywhere near the ratings of, like, say, my 2018 PCM team. So, work to be done, though, especially with only four riders on contract right now for next season. And here's our last chance to improve opinions with riders. Let's see the update. So, we have 6 points to spend. That gives you 60 in all. So it starts at 30, it builds towards 60. So that's key to note as you're going through this, as you have these pre-season, pre-contract periods. So Trentin, up to 50%, that's decent. We'd have to pay him a lot to get him, so we could certainly give it a shot. Mataway, though, no change, 40%. Jasper Philipsen, though, solid, 50%. Well, is that solid? I don't know. Evenepoel, up to 66%. So I think we should be able to retain his services. I certainly want to. He is our team leader, and actually he just leveled up. He's a 73 now. So I don't think he was a 73 prior. I think our highest was a 72. So there's our new team leader. Max Cantor, things are not going so well. 7% each time now, 21. And he was costly. But we do have this one last chance, so we can boost him up a little bit more here. Ermino came up a little bit here, up to 44%. If we pick up another 14 or so this next turn, it's manageable. It's manageable at or around 60%. Barta looks like he could go up to a full 100%. Mater, huge jump for just joining the ranks this time, so up to 60% now. Or was he already? No, he's been in there for a while, so actually it's not that high. But if we can get him above 70, 75 maybe, that'll be good, right? Miguel Bryan, only a 15% jump, but he was already 67. So if we add another 15, he'll be over 80. And that should help signing those guys back on. The big one I'm worried about, obviously, is Max Cantor, still in the red, only 21%. Ermino, maybe. It's not the end of the world if I lose him, as he's really single facet. Wouldn't be the big loss. These guys all way up, and I was still waiting on... Okay, he's out. He is out. He is a puncher, and he's got some skill right now. Dang it. But I don't want to spend them. I kind of want that point. He already likes me. I could sign him as an afterthought. If all else fails, kind of thing. Maybe I'll keep that point with him just because, yes, that's quality enough. That's iffy, but definitely better than the other guy. And same there. Willem's not so sure. We'll see if I need 1 point. Hey, I know where to go looking for it. So let's kind of do it this way this time. Go down through qualities, see what's available to me. Is there somewhere I want to spend 7 points? Try to get after somebody, maybe a 73, like a Pogacar. Pogacar is a quality talent, good climber, decent time trial. I mean, this is a guy who could essentially be like a stage racer for me. Be right there with Evenepoel, and certainly has quality. Gogol, Tolhook, Marusin. Getting a little old on that. Let's see, Gonsalves, he's getting too old, but he's always near the front when we race against him. A lot of guys in that 73 range, and that might not be a bad way to go. However, interest. Where's the interest? Alex Kirsch. No, Barrador. Nope. Northern Classics for Sand de Wolf, and he is interested. That resistance is pretty low, though, for a Classics guy. Okay, now we're starting to get down to riders that are interested. 72s. Shockingly. Sepp Kuss, don't want to pay the money to keep him, even though he's only 24. His development is crazy low. He's already making 12,000. He's going to want more money than that. Almost certainly to re-sign him. Not worth the points. Nicola Conchi. Now that's a rider. Yeah, interesting prospect on my 2018 team. 3 points. I think I need to look at another American rider, though. Really do. As we're losing Sepp Kuss, I think I need to have a replacement. Joey Roskopf, expiring, has some interest. Good in the time trial. Decent in other areas. So he's multifaceted. Roskopf's he's going to want a decent amount of money, though. What is his just local reputation, huh? And he's 29, so he's already going to be at kind of the height of his pay scale. Haas is Australian, yeah. So where to go with this is a little bit tricky. And see, I love this now. Splitting this up twice a month, going through and trying to pick out, where to go. Classics Rider, great resistance. Holy cow, dude. Yes. I need to scout you. I've already scouted you. Okay. Let's do it. Yes. That is decent quality. I'm going to open a dossier on you. Yay. Okay. 4 points. Still need an American. Only 4 points. Down to the 71s. Really good Hills rating, but that's all he's got. Just looking there because he has no current team. Probably signed for cheaper. Here's iKing. iKing. Your interest is so low. I didn't expect that. You're my cobbled guy, and I like that. But he doesn't fit in terribly well with our team. Really need to stay away from the classics, ultimately. So I think I need to let iKing go, just based on how this whole setup is. We're going to have a hard time signing a lot of these guys, and I think I'm going to need an option or two out there. Might need to go in and kind of search through Americans here. Be right back. Bennett. Garrison. Alright, so after some quick search work, for one thing, I still have Alan Banishek here, and he is on a list of ones that I'm on the fence a little bit, but his interest is low. He's only 21, and let's see, his potential is okay-ish, but if I do end up losing Cantor, I need a replacement sprinter. 2 points is pretty cheap, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Banishek. And then my last choice comes down to two guys. I have Sean Bennett. He's a 71 overall, a puncher. Not very good resistance. It's only a 67. His ratings aren't fantastic. They are not. But he could develop. I don't know how much. Interest is kind of there. The other choice is Ian Garrison. And Ian Garrison I've had before, and I had developed him as a sprinter. But here, here he's a 69 currently, and he's a time trialist. He was decent in the time trial last year's edition. This year he's converted a little bit more. He's only 21. Again, 2 points, so I can afford one of them, but not both. His interest is already up, though, so I'm going to go ahead and try to bring up the interest level here for Bennett. There we go, Sean Bennett. And that'll be the last of our points. So that is targeting one more American, and then potentially, depending on how the scouting reports turn out on those two, could ultimately pick between them. There was one or two other guys that I was looking at as well, so if they have really high potential, I could just go for them, and hopefully there's enough interest to get after him. So at this point, Banishek in the red, Cantor in the red, everybody else at least yellow, a few guys into green. This is the last dossier, so after this, starting August 1st, we move into signing. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.